Hello, my name is Ben Decker. In this video, I'm going to discuss the different options for setting up a floor plan view, introduce the visibility graphics menu, and using Worksets. I'm a mechanical engineer, so that is the side I'll be focusing on. The firm I work for designs mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems, so all of the MEPs are in one Revit model. Creating floor plan views is done after linking an architectural model into your Revit model and setting your levels to match the architect's. Setting up a model is discussed in a different video, so I'll not go into detail here. So I have my model open. This is one I've worked in before, but I'll show you how to create a new floor plan. So up here, you want to go to View, Plan Views, click on Floor Plan. Nothing shows up here. There's this checkbox, Do Not Duplicate Existing Views. I've already created views, so nothing shows up. So if you uncheck that, different floor plans show up. So I'll do a new first floor plan view. Click OK. Think a little bit, and this architect ended up putting the site in their architectural model. That's not typical. That's why it's so big. But I'll zoom in here. So here's your new floor plan view. You got quite a few options on the side here that I'll go through. Starting at the top, first thing is your view scale. So when you put this on a sheet, or if you're going to put it on a sheet, this is where you adjust your view scale, and it'll affect your text size and hidden lines and different things like that. So you want to set your view scale earlier the better. Then you got your detail level here, course, different models or categories will show up differently based on their detail level. So I'll make this one a duct floor plan, so I'll go fine. So it shows up 2-line. So I'll change that, and it'll add a little bit more detail. And then next thing is your graphic display, and I'll do hidden line. You can look up the difference between these, but down here is where you change that. So over here you have visibility graphic overrides. So this is a really important menu. We use it a lot. So you can either go into properties and click on edit, or you can use a shortcut VV or VG. So if you go VV, it pops up here. So you have all these different categories that you can turn on and off. You can change your detail level, and you can override certain things. So this is a really powerful menu. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can expand different categories, and it has different categories, subcategories. Let's go up the top. Model categories, use quite a bit. Annotation categories, these are mostly tags and text. Use that mostly for structural grids. You either turn them off, or sometimes you do halftone so they show up lighter. Analytical model categories don't really use imported categories, imports, and families in your Revit families. If you have a AutoCAD drawing linked in, that drawing will be linked in here. You can expand that and then turn off layers you don't want to show up. So that's how you adjust your AutoCAD layers. Filters, you can create new filters. So if you only want, hot water piping to show up, or just chilled water piping to show up, you can create a filter if you want to handle that. Worksets, I'll go over that, and then Revit links. So here are the two links, architectural and structural, that I have in here. If you wanted to override something in the architectural model on a view, you can go in here and change your display settings by host view. So you can make this custom, and you can go through and change something. So an example of that, architects a lot of times like to show diffusers or mechanical equipment in their model, but we don't want to show what they have. So we'll go in here, go to custom, model categories, custom, and then turn off air terminals and mechanical equipment. So none of their mechanical equipment or air terminals will show up in this view. So I skipped over Worksets. Worksets are really important as well. We use that for visibility. They're similar to layers in AutoCAD, if you're familiar with AutoCAD. So on the mechanical side, I got mechanical duct, mechanical equipment, mechanical piping. So when I create or draw ductwork, I stay on the mechanical ductwork workset, and then I'm able to turn on mechanical ductwork, and it should pop up. So not everything popped up. Here you can see some of these drops showing up. The reason not everything showed up is because of my view range. So when I created this workset, there's a default view range. So if I go to the side over here, scroll down to view range and click edit, here's the default view range. So right now it's only going up 7'6" past the first floor. So I want that go all the way up to the roof. So I'll change this to roof and then go 0 feet. And then all the ductwork between the first floor and the roof level will show up. So there. All the ductwork showed up. If you had, sometimes if you draw something on the wrong workset, say a pipe, if you saw a pipe coming through here, you could select that element and you can change the workset over here. So that's another thing. So it's important to draw stuff on the right workset if you're going to be using a workset to turn things on and off. So down here is where your active workset is. So right now it's mechanical duct. You can click this arrow and select something different. If you're switching to piping, whatever. If you want to create a new workset, you can create using this button here. So here you can see I'm a borrower of mechanical ductwork, but you can go new, you can call it whatever. Visible in all views. So this is if you want it to show up globally in all views. You almost never want that. You only want that for like an architectural link or structural whatever. So you're almost always going to uncheck that. So if you click OK, it'll create a new work set, and then usually it prompts you when you hit OK if you want it to be the active work set. So if you wanted to change it right away, you can click yes. I'll click no. So then I'll stay on piping. So those are work sets. They're used like layers in AutoCAD, like I said, and we use those a lot. So going back over here, the properties menu, scroll back up to the top. So we covered a lot of this stuff. The next thing is discipline. So like I said, I'm a mechanical engineer, so my default is mechanical. You can change to any of these and it'll adjust your view settings. So if I go to architectural, my ductwork's gonna disappear for the most part, and it'll be the architectural is the important. So change that back to mechanical. The subdiscipline you can use for your views. So when you first create a view, it's under mechanical here. So I scroll up, it's question mark, and then under floor plans, this is the view that I created. So if I want this to be a duct plan, I could type duct work in here, and then this will come down to the ductwork subdiscipline. So you can categorize your views that way. So going further down, extents, you can do crop view. So you can select these. It'll create a crop region around your view. So if I scroll all the way out, here's that scope, that crop box, so I can adjust the view. This is helpful if you just have a couple sheets or a couple areas. If you have a bunch of views or a bunch of areas, I would recommend using scope boxes. So you can create scope boxes, and then you can assign a scope box, and it'll automatically crop to that scope box. View templates, that's helpful if you have a bunch of like area plans and you want all the same view settings. I won't go into that here, but those can be helpful. And then title on sheet, if you use this view on a sheet, you can change the title so it's different than the view name if you want. The last thing I'm going to touch on here is phasing. So this is a new project, so everything is going to be on the new construction phase. If this was a renovation project, you could draw stuff on existing, and then it'll show up differently. And then your phase filters shows, or you use these to show demo and new plans and stuff like that. You can add phases if you have a more complex project if you want. I'm not going to go into that most of the time. You don't worry about that in Revit. Sometimes you do, but most of the time you don't. So that's the basics for setting up a floor plan and using Worksets. So hopefully you learned some stuff, and I'll be making more Revit basic videos, so feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching.